Sawadee-ka. It's Natty from the Thaiger, and you're watching Thailand Top Stories, today's major news in Thailand and around the region. Stay tuned for a quick update on the COVID-19 situation here in Thailand, and of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. For the first time in 18 months, Thailand has been welcoming travelers to the not quite quarantine-free reopening as of yesterday. Yesterday was the first day of new procedures for travelers to enter Thailand. There are now options for fully vaccinated and even unvaccinated travelers to come back to Thailand if they wish. But everyone, including Thais, now have to fill out the online Thailand Pass. If all the documentation is okay, you'll be issued with a QR code that you use when coming through immigration and health screening when you land in Thailand. But the website seems to have been a source of frustration for many hopeful travelers as they were confronted with error messages. Not everyone, but some. So if you too have been struggling to register to get onto the Thailand Pass, here are 4 tips that might help you bypass the dreaded error from API server message. Firstly, it's better to use the Google Chrome browser on your laptop or desktop. Then download the Allow Course Chrome extension if you don't have it already. Thirdly, make sure it's toggled on and enabled, and add the extension to the bookmark option and turn it on so it shows in color. And for the last step, restart your Chrome browser and log back onto the Thailand Pass website and recomplete your submission. For all of the links that I've mentioned above, do visit thetiger.com. Hope that helps. The case of the Bangkok hospital director who allegedly smuggled hundreds of boxes of antiviral COVID-19 pills is currently in police custody and is being interrogated by officials. Last week, officers seized 390 boxes of Favipiravir and arrested 9 people who allegedly are involved in selling the pills on social media at 5 times the standard price. Officers from the Consumer Protection Police Division say they had received a tip about the director from the private hospital, allegedly smuggling the antiviral drugs out of the hospital. Police checked the hospital in question and found that the hospital recorded the purchase order for Favipiravir pills, but there was no record of COVID-19 patients receiving treatment at the hospital. The hospital director allegedly sold each box for 1,600 baht, and then online vendors sold the drugs at 4,000 to 8,000 baht per box. Suvarnabhumi Airport is welcoming travelers from all 63 countries and territories in accordance with the government's policy to reopen Thailand. Not only Suvarnabhumi, but 6 international airports around the country. But around 7,000 travelers did arrive at Thailand's biggest airport yesterday. The Suvarnabhumi Airport General Manager said that in the first week after yesterday's reopening to international tourists, disease screening at arrival will be implemented under the Thailand Pass protocol, as well as the earlier Certificate of Entry protocol. Passengers will take the designated paths within the airport and go through a temperature check. Those with a body temperature in excess of 37.3 degrees Celsius will be isolated for further testing, whereas the rest will proceed to immigration and baggage claim. After retrieving luggage, passengers will meet representatives from their hotels of choice and then be shuttled to an RT-PCR COVID test at the hotel. Floods are receding throughout the country, although the south has been receiving some heavy rain, which could trigger flash floods there. Some very heavy showers were reported over the weekend throughout the southern region. The National Water Command are reporting that the accumulation of rainwater during these few days could trigger runoffs in Nakhon Si Thammarat, Songkhla, Yala, and Narathiwat. The Office of the National Water Resources said that overall floods have subsided in many areas, although 17 provinces remain afflicted by inundations. The amount of water flowing through the Chao Phraya River has been continually declining, and the water level downstream from Chao Phraya Dam is expected to drop further from Wednesday onward. In Japan, PM Fumio Kishida's ruling Liberal Democratic Party is defying expectations by holding on to a majority in Sunday's parliamentary election, solidifying his position in a fractious party and allowing him to ramp up economic stimulus. Exit polls by public broadcaster NHK showed the party retain its majority. The vote was a test for PM Kishida and for a long, powerful party, which has been hurt by perceptions that it mishandled the coronavirus pandemic. A travel lane between Indonesia and Australia is being proposed by the Indonesian President Joko Widodo. The route is intended to boost tourism and economic ties between the two neighboring countries. Indonesia's popular tourist island Bali reopened last month to foreign visitors from 19 countries. But according to Channel News Asia, the 5-day mandatory quarantine has been a huge deterrent, and as of this weekend, no international flight had landed at its airport. But under the new proposal, the Indonesian president made to Australian PM Scott Morrison, the quarantine period would be waived for fully vaccinated travelers from Australia. He added that the vaccination certificates would need to be recognized by both countries to facilitate the screening process for travelers. And now for a quick update on the COVID-19 situation here in Thailand. The CCSA has reported 7,574 new cases of COVID-19 and 78 new deaths. And that wraps up the COVID-19 update. For more news on Thailand, go to thetiger.com or check out our evening show, Thailand News Today. สวัสดีค่ะ